Greeting, friends, and welcome to my fish dissection. Now we're going to start with the eye, and if you look at the eye there, we actually cut that eye open, and those are a couple of fisheye lenses in there. We're going to do another video on those separately, and you can see it looks like a little bit of jelly. Okay, let's get back to the fish. We're looking at the mouth there. You can see the teeth. We're going to come back to those in a sec. That's called the operculum. It covers over the gills. And if you stick the blunt probe in there, it's easier to open up. And there's the gills are in there. That you might just see one gill, but there's actually multiple gills in there. You can kind of pull them apart. And eventually we would count 4 separate gill arches in there. Okay, looking along the bottom, that is the cloaca, the anal pore. That's a multi-purpose opening. Eggs and come out of there, but also poo and pee and everything. That's your multi-purpose opening. And this is the dorsal fin. We call that the smooth dorsal fin. That one's okay. That is the spiny dorsal fin, the front one. And you do not want to hurt yourself on that. Whenever you're holding a fish, you want to kind of run your hand from the front to the back. If you go from the back to the front, well, you're going to get jabbed by those needles and it's going to hurt. And that is the tail or caudal fin. All of the power of swimming really comes from that. Every other fin is just directional primarily. Now let's look inside the mouth. Oh, before we do that, we're going to actually check out the nostrils. So, did you know a fish has nostrils? They're called nares, N-A-R-E-S, and they're for smelling. They detect chemicals in the water. They are not for breathing. That's the gills. And check out the fish's mouth. It telescopes. And look how big it is. They can eat quite big things. And the tongue has a little bone in the tip of it. It's really quite hard. It's an interesting thing to notice, the tongue. And now we're going to get to our incision. We cut into the anal pore. This is a filleting knife. I'm going to turn it around the other way because as a lefty, it's better to come in at this angle. And holding up the whole time, pulling up so as to not damage the internal organs, and mostly I do good. I cut into a little bit of one ovary, but for the most part it was good. And this is a ladyfish. And if you just look, oh, that is the spleen there, and that is an ovary there filled with eggs called roe. Okay, row your boat, and we're going to cut a little further up into the fishy sort of rib cage here. And I'm actually going to get some dissection scissors to do that. And the thing about the dissection scissors is they have sort of a blunt end on one side. And where are my dissection scissors? I know they're around somewhere. Aha, I've got them. So they're rounded on one side, and the round side goes on the inside of the body so you don't wreck the internal organs. And you have to cut pretty hard to cut through some bone. This would be around, if you can imagine, this would be around where your upper chest is if it was a human. And I'm going to try and cut all the way up to the gills with the rounded or dull end on the inside so I'm not damaging anything. And once I get there, I'm just going to pull it apart. I'm just going to kind of rip it open. They actually have a rib spreader when you do open heart surgery that does this. And I'm just going to try and just rip this apart a little bit more. Probably have to get the scissors. Just going to try and expose the heart here. So right where I am, that white tissue is all surrounding the heart. So I'm trying to tease it away a little bit with my blunt probe just so that we can see the heart a little bit better. I'm going to cut a little bit more all the way up to the gills here, and then the heart is really visible. There we go. And that is the heart. In a fish, it is a 2-chambered heart. In frogs and birds, they have a 3-chambered heart. And us humans have a 4-chambered heart. Now look at how the heart is right next to the gills, because the gills get oxygen into the blood, and then the heart pumps that oxygenated blood right back to the rest of the body. So just like in our body, the lungs and heart are closely associated. In a fish, the heart and gills are closely associated. All right. So now I'm going to try to take out some organs. Let's start with the heart. I wanted to try and take the heart out without getting any blood spilled, but that did not work out very well for me. As you can see, a lot of blood spilled in there. A lot of blood spilled beside the heart itself. And if you look there, that's how much blood I was actually able to pump out of the heart after I had taken it out. It's deep red. You can't really tell because it's on a black background, but it's very, very deep crimson red, like you would expect blood to look. Okay, now that thing there is the spleen. And note, basically it looks like the heart, as someone pointed out to me. Well, red blood cells are being made and stored there, so it makes a ton of sense. They're being processed there. Now, you'll notice that a lot of this I'm doing with my hands. And you can definitely use instruments for this, but I just find it pretty easy to take a lot of these things out just with my hands. That is one of the gonads, the ovaries. This is the other one. And it's like a big giant egg sac. And when I pull this one out, you're going to see something kind of cool. The blood vessel connecting to it and sort of nourishing that is really intact, and you can really sort of see that vascularity. Remember, blood is like feeds every cell in our body. Every cell in our body has to be bathed in blood to get oxygen and nutrients and to stay alive. Now I'm getting into the digestive tract. Let's go. Okay, so right up at the top there, we're looking at the esophagus. So my bad, liver. Sorry, I gotta take the liver out first. Now I really made a mess of the liver. I did not do a good job of taking the liver out. If I had it to do over again, I would have cut it out with some scissors. But if you look at that discoloration on the liver, this fish is starting to go off a little bit. And so you can see that we're starting to see some color change there. It seems like the liver is one of the first things to go as the fish goes off. Now that is the esophagus and the stomach. And there's all these other sort of blind passages called ceca, which are just sort of like appendixes, like our appendix, sort of an extra stomach. So you can see there's this complex system, and then the tube of, after you go kind of through this maze, if you will, of digestive tissue, it eventually comes out the end there. And that's the anus. So I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to cut it off at that end, at the anal pore. I am going to cut it off at the esophagus, which is the tube coming from the mouth. And we can see our whole digestive system. Again, notice how it's got lots of lots of blood tissue in there, because all the food we eat gets absorbed into our blood. So there's your liver, digestive tract. Oh, so ovaries, my bad. Ovaries, digestive tract. And this thing here, which I'm noting as I look at it, looks a little bit like a chicken, doesn't it? This is the swim bladder. And it is my goal to gently take the swim bladder out without popping it. I had one student do this successfully in the past, and never again. So, but you're going to see in just a second, it's still a never again. I did not successfully remove the swim bladder. I lost my patience a little bit, and I went too fast, and that's what always happens. Go too fast, you're going to pop the swim bladder. And now it's popped. I'm just going to rip it right out because I want to show you what's behind it. And that is the kidneys of the fish kidneys, the fidneys. And that's not a thing. Fish kidneys, fidneys. That is that black line there. That's kind of the kidneys. They don't really have a full organ for it, but they just have a mass of what are called nephrons, and it's just basically the blood is getting filtered there. And you can actually see I'm actually pushing the blood through the kidneys as I do that. So I can kind of move it along there, which is sort of interesting to see. And pretty much done with the dissection. The last thing is that I'm gonna lay down some tobacco for some gratitude, but I'll explain that in just a sec. Now, coming back to the fish, those are your gills, 4 gill arches. But look inside there. Can you see those things on the just on the edge of the gill along the white? It looks like little teeth, and those are called gill rakers. So you get a good shot of the gill rakers there for a second, right by my finger. And if you're a fish and you are a small fish and wind up in a bigger fish's mouth, you could potentially escape through the gills, but those gill rakers are there to stop you, like a filter. And that is that. Say goodbye to our little friend. Now, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I work in an indigenous community, and one of the great things about that is we get to do things in a little bit of a different way. And since we have had this fish teach us, and we're actually going to learn how to fillet the fish, and we're going to cook the fish as well, and use pretty much as much of it as we possibly can, as is the traditional way, another traditional thing to do is to offer thanks. So the last thing I'm going to be doing is taking a packet of tobacco, that's what these little red pouches are, and I'm going to be putting it in a place where it will be safe and in a place that would have meaning to the fish that I would like to thank. So I'm going to be dropping that in Lake Ontario tomorrow morning. And thank you so much for making it to the end. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll be back at you with some more science soon. Peace.